back with album review.
What's up?
This week we're looking at a classic. What do you got for us?
So we got Madvillainy by MF DOOM and Madlib. They went under the name Madvillain for the album.
Did they have a sequel to this album, or did they have like anything else together? That's like one thing I wasn't sure on, because I know this is their first collab together, like huge collab like this.
There's something that's called Madvillainy 2
Oh.
that came out in 2008 that's on the Madvillain Spotify, so I guess so.
Oh, maybe we'll check that out another day.
Yeah, I didn't
But-
actually know that.
We did do an MF Doom album before. We did Food probably about a year ago or so, if you want to check that review out. And I thought it was a great album, and I really didn't know anything off this album except for like one or two of the big hits.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I started doing the album reviews like shortly after that one, because
I think
wasn't
so.
on that one.
Yeah.
But I have listened to that album before, and I think this is the only other MF Doom album that I've actually listened to.
Me too.
So, and I knew this was a good one, so I thought it was great to go back to this one.
Alright, shall we jump into the tracks?
Sure. So the first track is The Illest Villains. It's sort of just like an intro.
Yeah, it's a cool track that kind of introduces the two of them, and it's in the MF Doom style. Lots of like cut in like stuff from like Marvel shows back in the day, and just like a bunch of other cool pop culture things.
Yeah, that's basically this one. No rapping or anything on it, just the setting the stage for the whole vibe that's throughout most of the album.
Mm-hmm. It's a good vibe setter, because then you get the next track, Accordion, which is one of my personal favorites on the album.
So yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites. I just thought the beat itself was really interesting, really cool sounding.
Mm-hmm. I love the beats on this album. Madlib outdid himself on this one.
Yeah, all of the samples on this are just amazing. They all have sort of like a vintage sound to them, and MF Doom flows over every beat so well.
The flows are just immaculate, and that's what I loved about his other album, which Food came out the same year as this, so it shows that like he was really grinding and putting out some all-time classics in 04.
Yeah, no, that was a big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the next track, Meat Grinder,
Another big one.
great one.
Another one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, this one had a fun little beat to it that just felt like it was kind of chugging along,
Mm-hmm.
and it had a really deep bass.
Yeah, I love the guitar
Sound
lick
on
on
it.
it too.
Yeah,
It just sounds so good.
I thought that his rhyme scheme and like cadences over it just went so well with the beat.
Oh,
on
yeah.
this one.
Definitely.
And the next track is Bistro, which is kind of like an interlude.
Kinda.
like,
It's a
just
rapping
talking.
interlude a little bit, but I like Bistro. I think it's a cool little interlude.
Yeah, even though the interludes on this album, they sound like very jazzy and like
Mhm.
it's just a cool vibe, even when there's not rapping on it. Like
Yeah.
it's such a short album with such a long track list.
Yeah, that's one of the most fascinating things about this album to me.
Yeah.
Despite having 22 tracks, the album's like under 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's super easy listen because it never keeps you in one spot too long.
No,
Like,
not at all.
yeah, it's very interesting, going all over the place. So I like that about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the next track is Raid featuring MED or Med.
I don't know them, but I like this song, so... And they were good on it, too.
Yep, he had a good verse. Another really good instrumental on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not
Not much else to say about that one.
The next track is America's Most Blunted,
I love this one.
featuring Quasimodo.
Yeah, I love the goofiness of this track, with the fucking bong token up at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I just love the sound of this song, too, like, overall. Especially, like, the goofy little ending.
Yeah. And it's just making like constant references throughout to like different smoking things, and I think it's really cool. Like it's just like if you smoke, it's just stuff that you would instantly recognize what he's talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a fun little track.
Mm-hmm.
And then the part at the end where they like misspell marijuana is funny.
Marijuana.
It's funny. Then there were like the facts they were putting throughout about like marijuana boosts your creativity 8 to 11 times or whatever.
Yeah, it's a statistically proven fact.
Yeah, that's funny. And then the next track is Sick Fit instrumental. So
This is a good instrumental track. There's quite a few instrumentals on here, and all of them are fantastic to me.
Yeah, they're all just really like vibey, usually like looped beats,
Mm-hmm.
and they just sound great. And the next track is Rainbows, which there's not really any rapping on this track.
Yeah, this one's decent.
This is another really jazzy one.
Yeah.
There's like a saxophone.
I love the jazziness throughout the whole album, and
yeah.
Whenever there's jazz on an album, especially a rap album, it always is like one of the best things ever. There's just something about jazz,
Those
man.
are the best samples ever in hip hop, in my opinion.
Definitely. Like, gospel's a close second, but jazz is easily my favorite sample.
Yeah. And then the next track is Curls, which this one gets back into him rapping.
This is another really good one.
It's a really good beat on this one. It was only like a minute and a half.
Yeah. I'd say the average length for a song on this album is like a minute and 57 seconds. Like, it's really short.
Yeah, and even in those short songs, there's still like throughout the track list, there's a lot of like
so much material packed in there.
Like, you know, like speaking from like old comics, like shows and stuff, and just a lot of stuff thrown in there in such a short time. But the way that he raps, like, I don't know, he raps pretty quick.
Yeah.
So he gets a lot out in a short time period, and he can still fill the space and make it sound great.
Definitely.
I really like that. Do Not Fire instrumental is next.
I like this even better than the other instrumental so far. Like, this one was fantastic.
Had some like weird laugh tracks and like far away yelling sounds kind of thing.
I thought it was great though.
Yeah. It's like a good spacer for the album.
And
then the next track is Money Folder.
I like Money Folder.
This is another really good one.
Yeah.
He starts off with like a good verse, and then he says something. He says like they flipped it like Matter did the old jazz standard, and then the beat cuts off, and it's just like random jazz music for a few measures, and then the beat just cuts right back in, and he just keeps going. I thought that part was really cool.
Yeah.
And then there was another like Marvel Doom story excerpt in there.
Yeah.
And the next track is Shadows of Tomorrow featuring Quasimodo again.
Oh yes, another good feature from him, and I like this song too.
This one was interesting.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like a spoken word poem type thing at the beginning. But then I think there was a short little verse at the end. Was there actually? I'm trying to think. Because I'm trying to think of what MF Doom really did on the song.
Yeah.
It might have been mostly Quasimodo, just...
There is some tracks where he kind of takes a backseat and lets Madlib's, like, beat kind of carry the song.
Yeah.
Especially because it is a collab album after all, so you can't have Doom on every single track.
Yeah, like this one almost felt like an extended interlude to me.
Yeah, I could see that with a feature on it.
Yeah. But the next track is Operation Lifesaver, aka Mint Test.
I like this one too.
This is actually one of my favorites on the album.
This was one of my favorites on my first go around on the album for sure.
It's just a funny story, him telling about being on a date with a girl with bad breath, basically. Yeah. And just the way that he tells the whole story was really funny. And I don't know. It was short and sweet, and the fact that like the instrumental and like the intro that he put with like the Operation Lifesaver, like apparently that's an actual reference to, I think, a Justice League like album or something from the 60s.
Oh. And
so it made it feel like really serious, but then if you listen to what he's rapping about, he's just talking about a girl with bad breath.
Yeah, that's what I love about Doom. Like, he just makes the most serious sounding shit, but it's really just goofy if you really analyze it or just listen to it.
Yeah. The next track is Figaro.
Figaro, I like this one.
This one's good.
It's like it's a shorter track. I mean, a lot of tracks on here are short, but that one is one of the shorter ones, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. It had like a interesting sounding organ at the beginning kind of thing, and then it went into like the darker sounding beat of the song.
Yeah.
I thought he sounded really good on that one. Next track is Hardcore Hustle featuring Wild Child, which I don't think MF Doom was on this song either.
Yeah, not really at least.
I don't know who Wild Child is, but they kind of gave me like a Common vibe.
Yeah, I could see that.
Sounded similar to his rapping style, but wasn't bad. Beat was pretty cool again, so nothing really bad to say about that track. The next track is Strange Ways.
This one's not bad.
Yeah, this one wasn't bad. It had the sample in the background kind of had like a villain song sound to it.
Yeah.
So that went with the whole theme of the album.
All right.
Fancy Clown featuring Victor Vaughn, which is, I guess, one of his alter egos that he
Yeah.
raps under.
Which is, I thought that was interesting when I saw that, because I'm like, it's this. What's it called? Logic did something similar on one of his albums with a feature with Young Sinatra, which is just Logic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is one of his many alter egos he went by, because there's also King Ghidorah, and I'm pretty sure there's another one that he went by that I can't think of the name right now, but I thought this was a good song overall.
Definitely. I thought it was a unique idea, because it was him, like, basically trying to call this girl that cheated on him, and, like, call her out on it, basically. But he's rapping from the perspective of Victor Vaughn. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that the guy that she cheated with is supposed to be MF Doom.
Ah,
so he's like rapping about her cheating with himself. So
that must be really a crazy feeling.
But I thought that he executed the song really well and it sounded good.
Yeah.
The next track is I featuring Stacey Epps, which
this
Doom's
one,
not on this track.
Yeah, this one also was like a non-Doom track, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was just her singing the whole track, but it was a nice vibe, and it did break it up nicely still.
Yeah.
And then the next track is All Caps, which is another like short track, but
another one of the big hits,
end to end with bars.
Oh yeah, probably my favorite off the album.
Yeah.
Spell all caps when you say the damn guy's name. Like, come on.
Yeah.
People who don't say MF Doom in caps they don't understand. They don't know.
Nope. No, I thought that was a really cool one.
Mm-hmm, that's where the legend comes from.
Yep. And then the next track, Great Day, is another really good one.
I liked Great Day a lot.
It's really fun. Like, the kind of carefree sound that he has at the beginning was cool.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's just bars. More bars.
Just bars after bars.
More bars over jazzy instrumental. Like, what else could you want? Really?
Yeah.
And then the last track is Rhinestone Cowboy.
This is another one of my favorites on, like, the second half of the album. Like, this one was really fun to listen to, and I really liked it a lot.
I liked everything about this song, and I thought that the applause in the background, the entire song, felt really cool for the outro. Yeah, it's kind of like a standing ovation, but he's still going during it, which is nuts. Because it's like subtle at the beginning, and you're not sure if that's what you're hearing, and then it slowly gets louder and louder to the point where like he stops, it just lets the applause go, and then he's like, nah, enough, and he just goes, keeps going over the applause like they're not even worried about them. It's great. So, final thoughts? I thought this album is a great listen. I love that there's so many tracks, yet it's so short, so easy to listen to, and it's just a fun vibe, and just the jazz is nice to listen to. Even the interludes are a nice vibe. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about this album. I really loved it. Oh yeah, this was an incredible listen for me. Like, my first listen or so, like, I liked it, but like I didn't get it at first, and I enjoyed a lot of the tracks though. And comparing this one to the other album that he put out this year, I think this album is objectively the better album, but Food has some of the best hits off of it, like Rap Snitch Knishes and One Beer and Hoe Cakes, but like, this one is just jam-packed with bangers. I think this is the better album, but my favorite Doom tracks aren't on here, but there is some of my personal favorites on here for sure. Like, I loved All Caps, I love Meat Grinder, I love a lot of the tracks on here. I'd say this is probably my favorite album by him, too. I would agree. Yeah, I guess we could go into scores. Yeah, what you got for it? I'm giving it a 10. Hey, let's go! Because I knew I liked this album when I picked it, but I'd only listened to it a handful of times, so I really, since it was so short, I gave this like probably 4 or 5 listens over the past week, and it made me really love this album. Like, it's just super easy to listen to. There's a lot of like humorous tracks, but he has like super impressive flows on the whole thing, and the production's amazing end to end. Like, there's nothing bad I can say about it. Oh yeah, I'd probably give it 9.5. Fuck it, yeah. I was gonna give it a 9, but I think it definitely deserves to be like incredible. I don't give it a 10 because like there's 1 or 2 tracks that like just don't hit perfectly for me. That's fair. Yeah, and maybe there's like an interlude that's like not as up to like par with the other ones, but like everything else is incredible. Like, Doom is fantastic, Madlib's beats are incredible, and I just wish they put out more together. I know there's that second album on Spotify. I haven't listened to it yet, but me either. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to check it out for sure. Yeah. All right, so we're going back to metal.
However, we're going to go even lighter than Megadeth. This is an artist we have not... Well, we've technically done this artist before, but this is his solo work. And it's one of his newer albums. We're going to go with Ordinary Man by Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh.
This is the album around the time he did the collab with Post Malone.
Okay.
So, just some context for next week. And overall, I genuinely do like this album. So, tune in next week where we check that one out.